User joined your channel.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spotter Stand, coming at you live this week from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Once again, we've got the Foot Doctor, BSR Hot Rod, and BSR Pockets in the
User
booth
joined
with
your
us this
channel.
week. How you guys doing this week?
What's up? We're doing good. What about you?
Doing great. I just noticed we were joined by Les Alexander in the booth and Kojak, I believe. That's BSR
Axel Foley.
Axel Foley. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are y'all?
Doing great. Welcome. Glad you could join us here this week. We've got a big week for everybody. A lot of picks to show you this week. We've got a couple of new videos we're going to be debuting here on the Spotter Stand. If all of you guys, if you can, possibly hang in all the way to the very end of this segment, because we've got a special video we'd like for everybody to see that we're going to be closing off with this afternoon. Let's get started with the picks of this week. Like I said, we've got quite a few. Yeah, we're going to start out here with the #1 member of ZZ Top there on the right, BSR Pockets, and BSR Scar there on the left. Had a lunch meeting there at the Barbecue Inn. How'd that go, Pockets? I bet that was great.
Went very well. That's our little secret spot over there that we try to meet at halfway between both of us, so we can sit down occasionally and work over some of the things that we work on here at Bomb Squad Racing over a good lunch. Good time as always with my good buddy Scar over at WLS Graphics.
Yeah, Scar does a lot for us here at BSR with all the renders, all the logos, all the paints he just finished up with the Saturday Night Team Series. And yeah, we had a lot going on this week, so I guess you guys had to have that meeting, get together, discuss what was going to be happening, and we're glad that we have guys like you that help keep everything running smooth for us here at BSR. We really enjoy the racing and everything that Scar and you do, plus all the other admins, just help keep it great here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, don't sell yourself short, because I know you and Larry, and especially you, been in here all day long. Y'all were here when I got here a little before noon and worked right up until the last minute here getting the Spotter Stand together. So thank you for all you do. I know all this work that goes on to it, put it on, so appreciate it.
That was all texting today. I didn't really have anything to do today. I came in for support for him, but that was about it.
Well,
important.
We had quite a bit going on today, a lot to do, and thankfully we got it all done. Ran a few minutes behind, but here we are. We're ready to go. We've got some other picks to share with you this week. We start out with some T-shirts that have recently been received. These are from last season. Hello Sunshine Hello sponsored a segment of one of our series, and every driver who made every race in that segment received one of these T-shirts from Hello Sunshine Hello, BSR Tyler and Rhoda. These are some great looking shirts, man. I know I got mine, and you guys will see my pick in here as well. I believe this is the front of BSR Pockets shirt. This is what the front of all the shirts look like, and the back is unique. You guys are going to love the back of these shirts. The back has the driver's number and the driver's signature. We all signed a piece of paper, we signed something, and we were able to take a picture of it and send it over to Hello Sunshine Hello, and they actually transferred our actual signature onto the back of these shirts, and that's absolutely awesome. As you can see, that looks great. Pockets, it's got his number on there, and he's got Bobby Dale Mercer up there for his signature. I gotta say, Pockets, is that your signature, or did you get that wife to do that for you?
No, I did that. That's Bobby Dale right there. All Bobby Dale right there. I did that. Thank you very much.
Well, we'd like to thank Tyler and Rhoda for doing these shirts up for us. We really appreciate them. We don't have pictures. Everybody hadn't sent in their pics yet, but we've got pics of, I believe, 4 out of the 10 so far. Let's get our next one in here. This is the back of BSR Brain Fade shirt. You see Brain's signature under there. It's number 49 on it. And on the front, We got a little bonus here. We've got a pic of Brain wearing his shirt. You see the front of it there, and he's also got a couple of bags of Drunken Cow jerky that he recently received from the third place finish in the Saturday night shootout that we had just a couple of weeks ago. So Brain, I'm sure that's probably already gone. Knowing how everybody loves this Drunken Cow jerky, it doesn't last very long.
No, not at all. And yes, those are some great looking shirts. I actually had my shirt on there with that picture of me and Scar at the White Pig Inn, but I didn't get it in the picture there quite good enough. But it's a great shirt, great color, great artwork on that. Like I said, thanks to Rhoda Morgan over at Hello Sunshine Hello, just another one of the great sponsors we have, and just some of the great things that we try to do for the racers that support us and come out and race and have a good time. And we try to pay them back with good prizes and good beef jerky from our wonderful sponsor Mark Heyman, Richard Heyman, all the fine folks down in Dallas, Texas at drunkencowjerky.com. Just that's, I was talking to a guy this weekend and kind of explaining our philosophy and everything to him and telling him that, we try to simulate real racing, and real racing has prizes and awards and stuff for the participants. And that's, we simulate the whole deal from top to bottom. We try to award the people that come out and support us and race and compete in these races, try to give them a little extra incentive. And, a lot of these things, they're not based on winning or what position finish in. It's based on just being one of the people that come here and support this league. And we try to give back every chance we can. And you can see over the past months on the spotter stand and on Facebook, all the pictures and the t-shirts from WLS Graphics and the jerky and just the prizes from Voiles Trucking, that we really do mean it when we give back to our racers.
Absolutely. And speaking of Voiles Trucking, I can see Kathy Voiles over there in the chat. It's good to see you, Kathy. Thanks for tuning in. And as I'm sure you know, Brian pulled off a victory this week, and hopefully you'll be able to stick around here for a few minutes. I've got a little something special I put together for Brian in lieu of his first win here at BSR. Let's take a look here at some of the other picks that we've got. There I am at BSR Texan. I actually put on my shirt and posed for the picture. That's the front of my shirt there, and the back. It's got my 201 and my sloppy signature down under there. Instead of the BSR Texan, I put my real name underneath there. But man, I've got two of these t-shirts now. I have the one from Hello Sunshine Hello, and I've got the one from the Polar Bear 500 that RJ Rusty handed out, and those are, those are great. I wear my Polar Bear one all the time, and I'll be wearing this one all the time. I love these shirts, and I'm proud to go out and show them off in public. It's a real, starts up conversations, and you let people know what we do here at Bomb Squad Racing. And like I said, I love these shirts, man. I wear these things all the time.
I do too. They are outstanding. It's something unique. It's a one of a kind. Only a select few people are fortunate enough to have those, and everybody's proud of them, and we're proud to be able to give people something that they can be proud of here at Bomb Squad Racing.
Here's a pic of the front of another shirt. I believe this is going to be Larry's shirt here. Let's see if we can see the back. Yeah, this is Larry Yeager, BSR Hot Rod, the number 65. And wow, now that I see his signature, I'm not so ashamed of mine. I can't even hardly read your name there, Larry.
Not supposed to.
Looks like hey, that's a true doctor's signature coming from the foot doctor there.
Yes, my lovely wife was wearing it, but she wouldn't let me take a picture of her because she didn't have her hair or makeup done. So
She'll be glad of you. She'll be proud of you for saying that.
And we've got another pic of Larry here. This is Larry with his Drunken Cow jerky that he recently received from Voiles Trucking. Voiles Trucking, Larry won the Dirt Series last season, and Brian and Kathy Boyles pitched in and awarded him 4 bags of Drunken Cow Jerky. You can see the dog in the background. Somehow, with most of these pictures of Drunken Cow Jerky, it seems like anybody who has a dog, the dog is right there, man, just ready to get some of that Drunken Cow Jerky.
It's funny. He knew it was here before I did, so he was kind of the doorbell. I'd like to also personally thank Kathy, being she's watching. Thank you, Kathy, as the 2-time champion of the Boyles Trucking Dirt Series. Truly appreciate the prizes.
Yes, we do. There's Larry. I think he got 4 bags in a bag of Wolf Bites. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes, sir.
What's that dog's name?
Butch.
Butch. Look at Butch. Butch is ready to pose for that picture and ready to get some Wolf Bites there from Drunken Cow Jerky. And how about that Reaper over there I see in your hand there? How hot was your bag?
It was the same hot as your bag. I guarantee you they were the same batch. It was good. I liked it. It was definitely hot, like Pocket said, but I like it. It's good.
You know I whinged, as Aussie Bill likes to put it. I whinged about how hot it was the whole bag through, but I got down to the last couple of pieces, and I think I'd kind of got a little immune to it, and I was starting to really enjoy it. I mean, it tastes great. It's just hot as fire. But about the time I got to the bottom of the bag, I was kind of wishing I had another one. So I may recant on my statement about not ordering any more Reaper. I may have to get another bag the next time I get some, just to kind of mix it up and have that extra hot, spicy flavor.
Yes. What surprised me, Pockets, was, and I say this all the time about the Ghost. If you open a bag of Ghost and you eat it, and if you cannot eat the whole bag and put it in the refrigerator, the next day it's a little bit hotter. The Reaper didn't seem to be like that. It was just hot, period.
It's just hot. I told somebody when I stuck my hand in the bag, it was warm in there. You could feel the heat. So yeah, that stuff's great, along with all the other great flavors, and we really appreciate Mark Heyman. He always does us proud and takes good care of us, and we couldn't be more happy to have such a great sponsor as DrunkenCowJerky.com.
Yeah, and speaking of jerky, we've got a few other recent jerky recipients here. This is BSR Momo. He finished in 2nd place, as you guys remember, in the Saturday night shootout, holding up his 3 bags of Drunken Cow Jerky. And you can see him wearing his orange number 54 BSR Momo shirt. Yeah, I think I can even see his racing rig there in the background behind him. I'm sure Momo's out there tuning in with us today. Congrats, Momo, on the 2nd place and the jerky prize there. I know you love that stuff. Anytime there's a jerky race, Momo's always there, doing everything he can to get one of them jerky prizes.
Oh, he performs when it's jerky time. I'm gonna tell you, he performs. He's a great driver and a competitor. But man, you put that jerky on the line, and you see, there he is. He got his jerky.
Yes, Mr. Momo has a totally different gear and attitude when the jerky's on the line, that's for sure. We've all found that out.
He said he done ate his bag of Reaper in just one setting, almost one day, and I told him that something was wrong with him if he could eat that all at one time. That stuff's hot. I don't care what anybody says.
Maybe it's the beer he drank while he was
It very well could have something to do with it. I know that, but that stuff is hot, but it is delicious.
I enjoyed the Reaper that I had. I ate it in 2 sittings. I ate about half the bag, sealed it up, and the next day I finished off the other half. And it is hot, no doubt, but like I said, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
I enjoyed it. It was just hot. It just burnt me up.
Yes, I did it in about 3, Kill. I don't never eat one whole bag in a day. I like to try to save some so it lasts a little longer, because I like it so much that I get disappointed when I run out.
And we've got another pick here. This one coming in from BSR Chevy Chase. You notice he's prepared with the air conditioner right there, sitting behind his bag of Reaper. he's got some beer bacon down there, but he probably eating that Reaper and just hold his mouth open, let that cool air blow in, and that takes right care of that hotness for him.
Yeah, now that's the kind of air conditioner you have when you live out in San Diego, California, for those warm days. That right there, that wouldn't quite cut it for you and I, would it, Texan?
No, not here. As hot as it gets, and especially with the humidity. I know Chevy deals with some humidity out there in California, but I don't think it gets near as hot as it does here. Boy, that might cut it for a small room if you close the door and that's the only room you need to cool down.
Yeah, that would probably work for me over here if I stuck it down my pants.
Now, this jerky also coming from Brian and Kathy Boyles. I believe Chevy finished second in the Dirt Series, and that's what this prize was awarded for. Brian and Kathy ordering some great beef jerky from Drunken Cow Jerky and sending it over to Chevy Chase over there in California. And, Chevy, great driver, great racer. He's always a front runner, and also head of guest services here at BSR, helping other drivers, get involved and get everything that they need to feel like they're competitive here. Chevy always willing to hand out a setup to anybody who feels like they need one. We appreciate Chevy and everything that he does for us. So
It's still funny. It's
Go
still funny. He finished in the jerky in that series, but he was the one that kept saying he didn't like the dirt and he didn't want to run it.
yeah, and he did great. He did great in it.
Yeah, and I wanted to run in the dirt, and he knocked me out of it.
Yes, he did. Got you on the last race.
But I did make it up on the Saturday night shootout. Was fortunate enough to win that and got me 6 bags of Drunken Cow Jerky. So it all came out in the
surely
wash.
did. Yes, sir.
So let's get on to the week's racing here at BSR. We're going to start out with Wednesday night in the Wednesday night truck series where we follow the NASCAR schedule from beginning to end. NASCAR doesn't really have a chase in their truck schedule, but we start our chase 10 races to the end, and we are now 5 races in to the chase for the championship in the truck series. We've just ran our 5th race at Las Vegas this week. And bringing home his first win was BSR Brian Boyles in that number 68 Razorbacks truck. Brought home the victory at Las Vegas.
I believe the margin of finish was like 0.008. Eight thousandths of a second over second place. That was a fun race.
Yeah, Axel Foley.
That was a really good race.
Axel Foley, myself, and Brian were all racing hard for that win at the end. Axel pulled off second place, and I finished in third, and it was a very close finish, as you guys will see here in just a minute. I'll let Larry finish off our top 5 for us.
Yes, congratulations to Brian Boyles for his great win. Axel Foley second, like Texan said. Texan was third. Ricky J was 4th, and the BSR Hot Rod rounds out the top 5.
Now, you see Kathy Boyles here joining us on the spotter stand over there in the chat box, but I can guarantee you Brian is sitting somewhere right behind her, probably in the recliner, and you probably could knock the smile off of his face because if I'm not mistaken, that was his first legitimate real series win here at Bomb Squad Racing. And I'm going to tell you that it didn't take him all that long to put himself in victory lane and join the winners club here at Bomb Squad Racing. So congratulations to him. I know that was a hugely popular win amongst the league and the racers and the sponsors and everybody. That was an exciting race, as Axel pointed out, and just we couldn't be more happy to see a guy like Brian, after all that he does for this league and as hard as he competes every chance he gets to get out on the track to put that thing in victory circle, and we're proud of him and we congratulate him.
Yes, and it was no easy victory for Brian either. He had to overcome quite a few hurdles during this race. He was down in the grass spinning a couple times. He he got involved in another small incident on the track where he got a little bit of the wall, but he overcame all of that, came from the back multiple times, and ended up finishing up at the front. Now, I put together a quick little video here for Brian, seeing how this is his first win. It's been a while since I've done any of these little short videos, and before we get over to the points, I'd like to share this all with you guys, and Brian and Kathy, I hope you guys really enjoy this and get a kick out of this. Here we go. And there you have it. As you can see, that was no easy victory for Brian. Now, I didn't put all of his incidents in there. He was down in that grass multiple times, and like I said, he overcame every bit of adversity in that race. He had a great truck, and he drove it all the way to victory lane. Great job, Brian, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'll be uploading that to YouTube later on this evening, so you guys can check that out as many times as you like.
That was an awesome video. And I'll tell you what, he made some great saves. What about the spin in the grass and just kept on digging and got it back out there and got put in the wall there? And I mean, that's, I tell you, he never gave up, kept digging, put himself up there in victory lane. That'll be one everybody will remember for a long time. What a great video there, Texan.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, there was the other one in there where I believe it was you and Larry that had a little contact, and then you end up getting a little contact with Brian's quarter panel, and he just did one of the fastest 360s I've ever seen. Got it right up into the wall and kept going. And,
he never even hardly slowed down. I took the brunt of all of that, and he recovered well, and that's just I tell you, he was on a mission. You know, I've noticed Brian over the last several months. He's been digging real hard. You can tell when a driver's hungry for a win. You know, he steps out there and lets it all out, and sometimes he lets it hang out too much. But he never stopped, he never gave up, and he kept working hard till he put that '68 Arkansas Razorback Ford truck in victory lane. And so congratulations to him. I know Kathy's real excited about that. She's Brian's biggest fan and one of our biggest fans, and so I'm sure she was cheering him on and was excited about that victory, and we're just glad that we could all be a part of it.
Well, let's check out the points here after race number 5, halfway through the chase in the Truck Series chase. I still hold the lead there. I'm at the top of the leaderboard. BSR Axel Foley with that second place finish moves up a spot to take over second, down by 12. BSR Terry Scott moves down a spot to third, down by 14. You've got Monty Keller right there in fourth place, down by 18, and BSR Brain Fade rounding out the top five, down by 22. 5 races to go. Axel, there you sit, 12 points back, man. You've still got a good, legitimate shot at taking this championship. You're going to have to do everything you can to finish in front of myself and Terry Scott there for the next 4 or 5 races.
I'm going to try my best because this is some of the stiffest competition, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Well, let's move over and take a look at Thursday night. On Thursday night, we run the Cup Series. Again, we follow the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. And as you all know, this was the first race of the chase for the Cup Series. All 3 series now in the big show, in the playoffs. And in our very first chase race for the 2018 season, it was BSR Axel Foley that brought home the victory at Las Vegas in that number 47 Innovative Vapors ride. Good job, Axel, man. That was another great race. You did a great job in that race. You led a lot of laps and were able to bring home the victory. I know that feels great.
Yes. Congrats to Axel. Mr. Steve Looney gets second. Texan third. Monty Keller fourth, and Momo rounds out the top 5.
So, Axel, I believe we're going to get to the points here in a second, but I believe you took over the lead here in the chase after race number 1. How's it feel to be at the top of the board going into the chase?
Well, that smile that Brian Voiles has on his face, I have the same one. It's awesome. That was a heck of a fast car. Innovative Vapors is providing me with some bullets, and that was just an awesome race, and I'm looking forward to holding on to that lead.
Well, here's a question I have for you, Axel. Las Vegas, that track, it's super fast, super competitive. Is that a track that you've always enjoyed some success at, or was it just that race that you did very well in? Did you step up your game because we're solidly into the chase with the first race? Give us a under the helmet kind of view of what happened there.
Well, my 1.5 mile trucks, cars, everything, I seem to have that locked in pretty well. Short, flat tracks as well, and I tell you, it's the competition here that's made me step up my game and realize some of the things you have to do to the car where it might not be that comfortable, but you're going to be fast. And those last few laps, they were gaining on me, and I knew my tires were giving up. I was giving it all I got. I wasn't saving. I do enjoy these tracks a lot. Like I said, the setups just get better and better every time. It's a funny story. I was comfortable with my setup in practice. Then we went out and qualified. I believe I qualified second or third, maybe fourth. And then happy hour came, and my car felt terrible, just absolutely awful. And I was about to change my setup and just kind of throw something at it. And I said, I know this isn't the fastest. I'm not running the fastest laps, but I certainly was consistent, and I think I better stick with it. And sure enough, just a couple of changes in, and I could drive the tires off of it, and it was fast, and it was a great race and a lot of good competition. And once I got out front, that car was just on a rail.
Well, I know that firsthand, as any sim racer out there knows, that dreaded happy hour where you've got that 5 minutes to make a decision, and you're kind of on the clock about what to do, and sometimes you think you might need to make a change, but I've found that it's just the nervousness and anticipation of the event fixing to start, and that 5 minutes will make you second guess everything about going into a big race like that. And like I said, I found that just relaxing and sticking with what you got, be comfortable, and just hope the race goes good for you, works out, and it worked out great for you. What about Brian and Jen over there at Innovative Vapors? I'm sure you've had some contact with them since that victory. I bet they're really excited about that.
Yeah, I have to get a hold of Jen. It's been a crazy weekend, but Innovative Vapors is awesome. I know they hooked a buddy of mine up with some some new products, some new flavors, and he loves it. And I know there'll be more going out because Innovative Vapors is just one of the finest vapor companies. If you need something, if you vape, I would go see Jen. She's one of the sweetest, nicest, down to earth businesswomen out there. And, I really hope that anyone that's interested go check out innovativevapors.com and ask for Jen and tell them the 47 sent you.
Yes, Jen. She's a hoot, and I tell you that's a very interesting scenario that we have there. We bring Innovative Vapors. They also are a reseller of Drunken Cow Jerky, so you can get vape supplies and Drunken Cow Jerky at their shop there in Lake Jackson, Texas. And what's interesting is that we put this sponsorship on the car, and we get you to sign a 2 series deal with them to run this car for the rest of the year, and lo and behold, got a vape shop in Texas, and they're supplying vape supplies to people in Long Island, New York. Now that is marketing at its best right there. That has opened up their ability to branch out into other places to where they normally may not have, just putting the word out there with Innovative Vapors on the side of that 47 Ford Mustang. And that's the kind of thing that really excites me and makes me proud, is that when you take a sponsorship deal like that with us sim racing and simulating real racing and getting sponsors and see it come to fruition and see it branch out like that is just a great thing. So we appreciate them over at Innovative Vapors, and congratulations to you on a great win. Your first win, first race of the chase. That's something to be proud of.
Absolutely. I appreciate it very much. And what's great is we don't get a monetary sponsorship in the form of currency from our sponsors. But what my sponsor has made me do after speaking with Jen and talking to her and just getting to know her, I wanted to go faster. So it forces you to tweak that setup and just do something better than the next guy who you thought you never could beat. All of a sudden you're running ahead of them without a problem, psychologically knowing that you can beat them. And having a great sponsor like Innovative Vapors keeps me on that track, and I'm looking forward to more victories.
That's something I was going to mention. It seems like ever since you put that Innovative Vapors on the car, you have definitely stepped up your game. You've gotten a few victories here recently. You put that Innovative Vapors car in victory lane several times, and yeah, I think it's awesome. And you've been running great in the last month or so.
Yeah, that's the beauty of our marketing plan and our marketing solution here at Bomb Squad Racing for our sponsors is that we're not charging them. We work out a deal to where they provide products on a limited basis to some either people who win a race, or we work out some kind of little plan to where you connect the company with the customer with products and stuff like that, and the cars and the drivers and the logos and the paint jobs on the car is the connector between the company and the consumer, and we use that to our advantage to get the word out for the companies, and the consumers are the one who benefit from it. So we are really proud of our marketing solutions that we have with our sim racing, and we really enjoy it, and it's a great deal because it works out great for everyone involved. It's a shared cooperation, and it's just a benefit for everyone involved, and we couldn't be more proud of it.
Absolutely, and we gotta mention Brian and Kathy Voiles in there because they have made some significant contributions to BSR. And not only the products that they supply from Drunken Cow Jerky, but helping us out in many ways above that, and we really appreciate them for everything that they do for us.
Absolutely, and Brian, Voiles Trucking is kind of a unique situation when it comes to marketing because they are an independent trucking company. And they don't really they do their thing through the dispatches and the companies they haul for, so they don't really offer a service, so to speak, for the general public to use, but they take their tools and everything that they have, and they basically support sim racing because of their love of sim racing and their love of this league. And purchasing Drunken Cow Jerky to give away with their series is a way that benefits everybody. It benefits the league, it benefits the sponsors, and they have done an outstanding job. They ever since Brian and Kathy have come on board, I mean, this league has been able to do so much, and we cannot thank them enough.
Now let's take a look at our points in the Cup Series after chase race number 1. It is BSR Axel Foley sitting up at the top of the board with myself, BSR Texan, tied for second place with Steve Looney down by 2 points. And you got BSR Chevy Chase in fourth down by 5, and BSR Momo rounding out the top 5 down by 7. After the first race of the chase, what we did is add in everybody's bonus points. I believe Axel was actually in about 4th or 5th place going in with bonus points. He was about 5 points off of the lead, I believe, somewhere in that range, but with that victory, and I believe he may have led the most laps in that race, but with the victory and all the bonus points, Axel Foley comes out on top. Again, 9 races to go. So it's going to be tough, Axel. You're going to have to defend that top spot for 9 more weeks and 9 more races. But I have no doubt that you can do that if you really put your mind to it.
Speaking of the first chase race, the actual NASCAR race concluded, and Keselowski was the winner.
Keselowski, huh? Coming in.
Yes.
That was your dark horse, I believe, for
Yes.
that race. Yeah. Yeah, I was really kind of surprised, that Harvick had trouble. I believe Kyle Busch had a little bit of trouble, and
A lot of the chase guys had trouble in that race.
and Truex had a great race. I mean, he was running great. I really was expecting him to bring home that victory at the end of that race, but
He ended up finishing 3rd. Kyle Larson got 2nd, and then 4th was Logano, and 5th was Blaney.
Well, you got to hand it to Keselowski putting the car together. I'm sure they had to make some changes over the race to get that car where it needed to be to bring home that victory, and they did it. It's not an easy thing to do. It's tough here to win a race at BSR, even tougher to beat 40 guys out there in the real NASCAR series.
Sure thing.
Hey, and not even the real NASCAR guys get to race for Drunken Cow Jerky, so.
That's right. Hey, where are we going to be headed to next week in the Cup Series?
Next week in the Cup Series is, we were just talking about this. Hold on.
Dover.
Richmond.
That's it, Richmond. Yes,
Yeah.
Richmond.
Now, we missed the truck series as far as next week. I know that the truck.
The trucks
are off until sometime in October, so we'll be heading back into the dirt next Wednesday in the Drunken Cow Jerky Dirt Series. What track is that going to be at, Larry?
Dirt Series race, I believe, was, I'm checking now, is Fulton. We are going to Fulton.
Fulton.
If I'm not mistaken, the truck series doesn't land. The next time the truck series takes place will be at Talladega.
Yes, that is correct. The week of Talladega, when the Cup goes to Talladega, the trucks are there with them, and the Xfinity is off. We as an organization are moving the Wednesday chase race that is at Talladega to that Friday night.
Yes. Now let me say something right there. Yes, that's Talladega week, and Talladega week is, especially in the fall. In the spring, it's a big deal, but in the fall, when we get close to the end of the season, and it's going to be the last Talladega race for the season on the schedule in the 3 major series, that's a big deal for us because this league was founded and started as a super speedway league, and Talladega week is what we consider, besides Texas week in the fall and spring, because Texas being the hometown of Drunken Cow Jerky. But Talladega is a huge week, and we've decided to move the Wednesday night truck series to Friday night since the Xfinity car series don't race at Talladega in the fall. The trucks don't race in the spring, and the Xfinity cars race in the spring. So it's a flip flop there. So we decided to move it to Friday so we can have Thursday, Friday, then we go to Talladega in the team series and to Talladega at the Voiles Truck and Late Night Truck Series. So that's going to be a huge week. And let me tell y'all right now, we have got some things that are unprecedented in the world of sim racing for Talladega week. We're just about to pull the trigger on all this stuff. We're getting it all lined up, finalizing all of our plans. But this is going to be huge, and I'll tell you this. This is going to feature some of the most unique and coveted prizes that have ever been offered in sim racing. They're going to be things that you are not ever going to have seen given away, and nobody else is doing this kind of thing right here. Something very unique, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting week, so y'all stay tuned here on the spotter stand. I'm sure we will be announcing that soon in our Facebook page. So be ready, because it's going to be a big deal.
I just want to throw one thing out there, Pockets. That Wednesday night, we will also be running the World, as all the dirt guys know, the World 100 got rained out, and they moved it to the Talladega week. So we're going to run a special dirt race at the Springfield Mile that week.
Very good. So we're going to have dirt. We're going to have Talladega week. We're going to have 2 nights of dirt. The Friday night dirt series, the Empire State Dirt Track Championship will be running that weekend, and Wednesday night dirt, and then all Talladega races. So that's going to be a huge week right here, and we are ready for it. We're making plans, finalizing those plans. So you're going to want to be a part of this, I can promise you.
So next week we will be at Fulton on Wednesday night in the Drunken Cow Jerky Dirt Series, and then on Thursday night the Cup Chase will continue with race number 2 at Richmond. And once again,
that's correct.
Congratulations on the first victory in the chase, Axel. Great job, man. And I really hope that you can stay up there at the top of the board and pull off a few more victories in this chase before it's all over.
Thanks, man. Me too, man. I'm looking forward to the competition. You're always up there running for the same victory. So yeah, man, we'll have a good time.
All I could say is you put yourself in a unique situation on there. You better pull your helmet down tight, because they're coming for you. You done put yourself out there in front of everybody as the man to beat. So better be ready. I'd be a little more comfortable being back a little ways, having a little breathing room to be able to climb the ladder as to be the guy that's at the top of the ladder that everybody wants to knock off. I'd rather be one of the guys trying to knock you off as the guy trying to get knocked off. So hang in there.
Yes, it does seem to be better to be the guy coming than the guy at the top.
Well, because you got, here's the thing about this. You go 3 or 4 races in and you're climbing and you're quietly working your way up. But when you're up at the top right there, dude, that's a long road to hoe to defend 9 weeks of the best sim racers on the planet after you. So but hey, I've seen some people, they don't perform until the pressure's on. They need that pressure. I'm one of those people. I seem to perform a little bit better the more pressure that I have, and that's the way a lot of racers are. So maybe that pressure will pay off for you. So we'll see, but good luck to you.
I'm rooting for you, Axel.
Yep.
I'm rooting for you, buddy.
And you don't necessarily need to stay at the top of the board the whole time, so long as you can stay close. If you drop back a spot or 2 after a race or 2 or 3, so long as you can stay within single digits, I think, you can always come back and have a good race, and other people are going to have a bad race. So, yeah, just hang in there and try to be as consistent as you can, man. That's the key. And I, like I said, I think we're all rooting for you, and I think you can do it.
I'm not rooting for him.
Yeah.
I
I'm gonna tell
appreciate
y'all
almost all the support.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm not rooting for him. I'm rooting for that 38 car to beat him. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm gonna be right out there and be honest with you. But yeah, Killa said the word consistency, and I tell you, top fives are the key, man. You keep those top five going, and you'll be a player.
And remember, it's not about your best race. To win a championship, it's all about your worst race. The best you can capitalize and just get the best you can out of it.
That's right.
Now, on Friday night, again, we ran at Las Vegas in the Xfinity Series. And this series is, I believe, what, 3 races in to the chase
Yes.
now? Yeah, 3
Yes.
races into the chase. And this Friday, it was BSR Nelly in that number 103 Medicine Chest Pharmacy machine who brought home the victory at Vegas in the Xfinity Series. Great job and congrats, Nelly.
Yes, congratulations to Nelly. Texan got second. Terry Scott was third. Robert Malcolm was fourth, and BSR Chevy Chase rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, how about Nelly? Nelly comes off his summer work program where he works hard during the summer, and due to his time schedule and work schedule, he's not being able to make a lot of these races, and he finally gets to break free from some other commitments and show up at the track in the 103 Medicine Chest Pharmacy Camaro and puts it in victory lane. And speaking of the Medicine Chest, I talked to the long-time member, great friend, RJ Rusty this week. Talked to him a couple of times through a text chat, and he's been working hard during the summer there too. And they're about to wind down summer. And you know, in Minnesota, when summer's over, everybody moves indoors because that's about all you can do in Minnesota is do indoor activities after a certain period. And he told me that he's looking forward to coming back, to getting back in the car and coming on and showing up for some of these events. So it's great to hear from him, the owner, the sponsor of, and the owner of the Medicine Chest Pharmacy. And I always have trouble with the Medicine Chest Pharmacy because my pharmacy is called the Medicine Shop. So I'm always stuttering a little bit to make sure I get that correct. But yeah, that's the Medicine Chest and the Polar Bear. That's where the polar bears come from, up there in White Bear Lake, Minnesota.
Well,
The Polar Bear Shop.
I'm glad to hear that you talked with him, and he'll be back in racing with us soon. It's been a while since we've seen RJ on the track, and I also am looking forward to seeing him back out there on the track and having some fun racing with him this winter.
Yes,
Yeah,
me also, Pocket.
Yeah, the pharmacy thing's kind of taken in some of his other business ventures have kind of taken up a lot of his time in the summer. And like I said, you know, up there in Minnesota, summer is a very active time because even their spring is really non-existent. I mean, it's those couple of 2, maybe 3 months of summer that they get, that they have to get out there and get everything done that they can and get prepared for winter to come, because you know the winters up in Minnesota can be kind of brutal. So he's getting everything wrapped up and looking towards his fall winter schedule here, and he said he couldn't wait to get back, wanted to tell everybody hi, and we look forward to his return.
I can't wait for him to get back.
Well, let's take a look at the points here in the Xfinity Series. 3 races into the chase. I'm still holding the top spot in this series as well, with BSR Terry Scott moving up a place to second, down by 5 points. BSR Momo dropped 1 spot to third, down by 9 points. And Chevy Chase looks like had a pretty good race. He moved up 2 spots to 4th place, down by 14. And BSR Pockets, with a little bit of bad luck in the Xfinity Series, dropped 1 place, still rounding out the top 5, down by 20. And only a few races in, boy, Terry Scott and Momo are right there, just right on my heels. I'm really surprised I've been able to hold the lead in this series for this long, and I would expect at least one of those guys, even if not Chevy Chase. You can see he moved up 2 spots last week. That Chevy's a great driver, and you know, he's going to be climbing that board. I have no doubt about that. And Terry Scott and Momo, both also great drivers. And I'd be looking for one of those guys to to really make a challenge and maybe try to take over that lead spot here in the next race or two.
I mean, and just the third chase race with have more races to go. Those points, all the way back to what, 11th place, you think? 12th, maybe, possibly. I mean, a lot of things can happen depending on the attendance. And I can tell you, with winter setting in and this being the fall winter or the fall segment, the chase segment and everything like that, you're going to see some people that have been busy during the summer show back up. The attendance, the numbers are going to rise a little bit like they always do in the fall, and that's gonna be a factor in some of these points. So you're gonna see some movements on this board. People gaining, people losing, and there's the mathematics of the whole deal is still pretty wide open with 7 races left. Going into Richmond next Friday night, short track action under the lights at Richmond. That's gonna be a mover and shaker kind of deal right there. There's gonna be some winners and losers in that deal, like there always are, and we'll keep you abreast of it right here on the Spotter Stand.
Well, let's take a move over to the Friday night Voiles Trucking Dirt Series, the Empire State Dirt Track Championship Series this season. We are a couple races in. You guys, what was the name of the track that we just ran here, Larry?
Weedsport.
Weedsport. Yeah, that was a great track. I know some of the guys didn't really care for it, but I liked that track. I think it ran pretty good.
Yeah, you adapted to that track pretty quick. You were a solid contender.
Is that Cayuga County Fairgrounds? Ain't that where that's at? Weedsport? Cayuga County Fairgrounds?
Yes, it's CAY something or other.
I don't know. I'll have to get one of them Yankees to get right on that pronunciation. But I remember driving by that county fairgrounds several times as we was making some laps around Weedsport there. But yes, Killer, you're right, Texan. It's a unique track, as all of these Empire State Dirt Track Championship Series tracks are, and it's why we kind of honed in on the New York side of dirt racing, because there's some great tracks up there, and Weedsport's one of them that the boys in the scheduling and the scoring office put together for us for this series, and it's got that little knee-high concrete wall on the inside right there in the corners, and you got to get right down there on it and try not to hit it, and everybody hits it and everybody tries not to, and you got an advantage on the inside, you're at a slight disadvantage on the outside. You got to stay off that wall. You got cars 3 and 4 wide. It just creates some great racing, and it's a great track, and this is the first race of 2 in this series at Weedsport. So
yeah, and last season's champion, BSR Hot Rod, on his way to try and win another championship in this dirt series, the Foot Doctor. That's where he gets his name, because he's got the foot for this dirt racing. He's great at it, and he brought home a victory this Friday night at Weedsport.
Yes, and Brian Voiles, Stip Competition second, Texan third, Steve Looney fourth, and Brain Fade rounds out top 5.
a great race in that series. I mean, and there's the Foot Doctor. We call him a Foot Doctor for a reason, because steaming mad at dirt. And how about Brian Voiles, man? That shot of confidence he got at that win, man, it's went all the way across the board. He's had a great week, best week ever for Brian Voiles. So congratulations to him on the second place.
Yes, congrats, Brian.
Yeah,
Actually, I had an awesome week this week. I had a killer fast truck. I had a really good cup car. Ran into some problems, didn't get a good finish, but I still had a really good car. I had a great Xfinity car. Ended up getting a 6th place. So yeah, and then win Friday night. I had a really good week.
Well, let's take a look at the points here after race number 1. Of course, it is BSR Hot Rod up there at the top of the board with myself, BSR Texan, in 2nd place, down by 6. Do I have the right points up here, Larry? If this was race number 1?
Yep. Two. This is race 2.
Okay, race number 2. Okay, I was wondering how Brian's back there in 4th place if he finished in 2nd. But yeah, Brain Fade in 3rd, down by 12, and Brian with that 2nd place finish moves up 3 spots to 4th place, down by 14. BSR Chevy Chase rounding out the top 5, down by 18. Where are we going to be headed to next week in this Boyles Trucking Empire State Dirt Series Championship?
Next week is Orange County Fairgrounds Speedway.
That's a great track. That's one track that I remember from back in the day of dirt racing, and we've been there a couple of times and done some testing there, and that's going to be a good track.
Up in Middletown.
Well, let's check out the Saturday night team series.
Let's do that.
Yeah, we've had our very first race in season number 36 in the
You want me to
Saturday
talk?
night team series.
You want me to talk about it so you don't feel like you're talking about yourself?
Yeah, actually,
No,
you
No,
feel free
go
to do
ahead.
that.
No, you go ahead. Take the lead on that. Go on and talk about yourself. You need to.
Well, it was a great race. It was a tough race this Saturday night. We had quite a few drivers that had some issues and weren't able to finish the race. We had a few drivers lose engines. I know BSR DJ Champ. He lost an engine late in the race and wasn't able to finish. But it was myself, BSR Texan, and the Ghost team who was able to bring home the victory in the very first race of season number 36 of the Drunken Cow Jerky Battle of the Six Flavors Team Series. You know, my teammate SS Joba, he really helped a lot in that race. Pockets, you were right there. We were battling. You're on hot this season, and we were battling with that hot team. They had all 3 of their cars up at the front of this pack as we were coming down to the last few laps, and I was in the lead with my teammate SS pushing me, and that hot team was able to make that outside line work and get up and take the lead. Pockets moved down in front of me, and then I pretty much had nowhere to go till we were on with the last lap. Next to the last lap, I believe it was the last lap of the race, we finally were able to get clear, and both myself and SS last minute move up to the high side and just didn't give you any time to put on the block, and we were able to draft right on by and take first and second place and keep that hot team back to third place points. So we did all we could. We maximized our points as best we possibly could in race number 1, and I tell you what, man, we're going to be trying to do that every single race to bring this Ghost team to a championship here in season number 36.
Yeah, Larry, you got the point, or you're going to put up points, aren't you, Texan? To see, I tell you, this series, there was so much anticipation for the beginning of this series due to these new paint jobs, these outstanding paint jobs by BSR Scar and WLS Graphics, and it just breathed a whole new energy into this series, and everybody was super excited and amped up, and it kind of showed on the track a little bit. There was, it was a kind of a rough start to the race, and there were several issues to attrition of blown motors and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, being up there, I was at the back. I worked my way to the front a couple of times, checking my car out to see if it had what it needed to be able to work through traffic and everything. And I tell you, that race, the one thing that stood out about that race right there is in 3 laps, so much can change due to the length of that track and how long it takes you to get around there. It seems that 3 laps seems like an eternity, and so many things changed second by second that it was just, it produced an awesome finish. Everybody digging hard. Congratulations to you and SS and that Ghost team. And like I said, you'll go down in the history books as the first winner of the Saturday Night Team Series Battle of the Six Flavors Drunken Cow Jerky Series with the brand new Drunken Cow Jerky cars, putting it in victory lane. So you ought to feel great about that. That's the first winner of the new set of cars. And That was just an outstanding race. I mean, just like it always is on Saturday night. I mean, that thing is a nail biter the whole time, and so much changed. You know, you're 1 minute you're at the penthouse, the next minute you're at the outhouse, and it changes second by second at that track, and with everybody working hard together. And what a great series and a great win for Ghost and you, Texan. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, it was definitely an exciting finish, as they usually are, coming down to the end of the team series. You've always got, different teams with different teammates working with each other, trying to bring home that victory and get the best finish they can for their team. And no exception this week. It was a really exciting finish and another great race. Let's take a look at the points, how they stand after race number 1. The Ghost team holding up to the top spot there, and the Hot team, we were able to, like I said, keep them back to a 3rd place finish, and second, down by 6. Beer Bacon and Reaper are currently tied for 3rd place, down by 10. The Teriyaki team is 5th, down by 12, and the original team had the bad luck this week. I believe their first finisher was well back out of the top 10, down by 16 points. But
see that separation in them points between first. Well, that's first and second. That's because Ghost got first and second spot. And then Hot was fortunate enough to fill out the rest of the top 5 through. So we finished 3, 4, and 5. And that's what causes that gap back to 3rd place there for Beer Bacon. So you can kind of see how that scoring affects, so that you got 3 cars on each team, and every one of those spots that, even though only one car scores, that other team car that you have, if it finishes right there with you or something like that, it kind of a detractor and takes points away from the other teams who are trying to catch up or beat you, or you can gain a little ground there. So that's how those points shook out for the first race of season 36.
Yeah, if you can get your teammates to finish, even though their cars aren't going to score, like Pockets finished in 3rd, and his 4th and 5th place teammates, their car didn't score. But since they finished 4th and 5th in front of the Beer Bacon team, they kept the Beer Bacon back to 6th place points. So, yeah, there's all different, as we've said many times, all kinds of strategies. Lap down cars, teammates helping their team who's on the lead lap. If your teammates, even though they don't score, can finish in front of another team, the first car for another team, that keeps a 1 or 2 points off of that team. So, a lot of strategy in this series, and it's going to be another great series. 9 races to go, and I'm sure we'll have another close battle as we come up on the end of this season number 36.
21 drivers took the field Saturday night. Great field, great drivers, great series. We couldn't be more proud of all the work that we've put into that, and just everything that's surrounding that series just keeps it hyped up and keeps it one of the top series we have at Bomb Squad Racing. And we're super excited for season 36 and can't wait to get back there at Daytona next week.
Well, let's move on to the Voiles Trucking Series. Late night on Saturday night, after the team series wraps up, we run the Voiles Trucking Series in the trucks. And this week we were in the dirt in the trucks at Eldora. And it was Robert Balcom in that number 118 BAM machine who ended up bringing home the victory at a very slick Eldora. Great job, Robert.
That's a good win for Robert. Brian Voiles gets 2nd, Texans 3rd, Monty Keller 4th, and Hot Rod rounds out the top 5.
Yeah, see, that's what I was referring to. I knew that Brian had got another 2nd place finish there at the Voiles Trucking Saturday Night Truck Series there at a unique situation where we put the trucks out on dirt at Eldora. You know, the way this whole deal worked out, it just worked out perfectly to give this series just a little bit of everything. I mean, last week we're at a road course, this week we're at dirt. All of that came through a random drawing of tracks. We had our friend HB Huggy Bear Hardy. He put all the tracks in a hat and he drew them out, and it so happened that's the way the schedule landed. Was last week we're at a road course, this week we're at dirt. Next week, where are we, Larry?
Next week we are at Atlanta, I believe.
Atlanta?
I will check for sure, but
And I mean, we've got short tracks. I know Martinsville's on that schedule. We got short tracks. We got super speedways, Talladega. We got dirt. We got road course. And I mean, that all came about due to a random drawing. And I was really, really excited about how that random drawing put those tracks on the schedule. And that's something that we're going to look at for the future of doing, because that thing couldn't have worked out any more special than it did. And to be able to put a series like this and do something different and put it out on the dirt simply because that's what we drew that race to be out of the hat. And look at there. White Chocolate, my man, Nashville, Tennessee's only own Robert Balcom. BAM Motorsports. That BAM Motorsports truck has a little special place in my heart because I am the part owner of BAM Motorsports, Balcom and Mercer Motorsports. And he, man, I'll tell you, that guy right there, he gives it his all every time. It doesn't matter what you throw at him. He may not necessarily like it. It may not be his forte to speak, but I tell you what, he gets up on that wheel and he overcomes anything thrown at him, and he heads that 118 truck straight for victory lane. And he is a powerhouse of the world of sim racing. And we're just glad to have that level of competition in our series, because I'll tell you this, when you got that level of competition in your series, that tells you everything you need to know about your series. You are doing something absolutely right when you got the kind of people and the level of competition that we have in these series. And that's our late night Saturday night truck series that for those of us who just can't get enough racing during the week, and we're addicted to it, we love it, we live it, we breathe it, we eat it. That's a huge deal right there. The guys in that series are just outstanding. It's a really good, clean series, very few cautions. And, you got drivers like Steve Sawmill Looney and Bonnie Mike Keller and Mike. And so that's just, along with the regulars, Rick Johnson and we've got some, that series is creating some interest too. And we're using that series as our launching pad for drivers, kind of the testing ground for drivers to come in and compete in a couple of those races. And then if they do well there and we're a good fit for them and they're a good fit for us, we're going to move them up into the three major series at Bomb Squad Racing. And so it's created some interest, and we've got a great thing going there. So we look forward to it next week, as we always do.
Yeah.
Here's something that's crazy. As slick as that track was and as bad as it was, there was only one caution on that track last night.
Yeah, that was a very tough track. I mean, it was really slick, and hats off to Robert, because like Pocket said, he is a great driver, and just about anything you throw at him, he's going to adapt. And to be honest, I was really surprised to see him adapt so well to that slick dirt track the way he did. He dominated that race and pulled off the victory. And with that victory, he moved himself back to the top of the board. In this series with the points, it is Robert Balcom moved up a spot to take over the lead. Myself, BSR Texan, dropped a spot to second place, down by 1 point. Then we've got Brian Boyles, who also moved up a spot to third, down by 29. BSR Scar dropped a spot to fourth, down by 30. And Steve Looney rounding out the top 5, down by 36.
Man, I'm telling you, Brian Boyles had the best week ever. He's just moving. Everything is just on the positive tip for him. I mean, hats off to him. What a great week. He's got to just be sitting back smiling right now.
Yeah, Brian has had a great week, and I was really glad to see him get that victory on Wednesday night in the truck series. I know Axel may not have been quite so happy about it. He was right there in the lead, and it was a last lap pass. Axel just barely caught the apron coming off of turn 3 and 4, and that held his momentum just a little bit, and Brian was able to get a run. And I kind of moved up behind Brian, helped give him a little bit of draft in that race, and I think that was all the difference that was able to push him up ahead of Axel. Axel made a last-minute ditch down to the apron coming through the front stretch, and he almost took that victory back. from Brian Boyles. But man, Brian with a great week and that awesome win in the Truck Series. That was great.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you, as a racer, you can put yourself into a situation where your fellow competitors are cheering for you to win a race, or like you said, make the conscious effort to make a move that'll help you gain that type of respect from your fellow competitors. That is going to be the best thing that could ever happen to you in sim racing, and that's going to be one of the major contributing factors towards your success, is the respect of your fellow competitors. And Brian has earned that. He gets out there every week. He races hard. He races clean. You can see where that respect has paid off. You said it right there, and that needed a little exclamation point on it right there, as to Brian's character and the type of driver and racer he is that he's got people actually cheering for him, like I said earlier, as opposed to me cheering for Axel. And I meant that. I'm not cheering for him.
I kind of killed two birds with one stone in that race, because Axel and I were talking about this after the race. Axel is right there on my heels in that Truck Series. I'm leading the chase in the Truck Series currently, and Axel's right there in second place. He's only down, that second place finish, he was only down by 12 points. Had he pulled off the victory, he would only be about 9 points behind me right now. So, it was in my favor to help Brian get that win. Plus, I knew Brian was due for a victory. He races hard. He's a great, clean driver. He does get some good finishes, but it's not often Brian gets an opportunity to actually get a victory. And I knew he was due. I didn't realize that was going to be his first win in one of the major series, but I definitely knew he was due. And when it came down to that last lap, I had to make a choice there, because I knew there was no way I was getting the victory. I pulled up behind Brian to help give him that extra draft and help him get that long overdue victory. And I also was able to keep Axel just a few more points behind me by keeping him from getting that victory. So, two birds with one stone. Nothing against Axel. You're a great racer, man, but I got to keep you back there if I have any opportunity at all, because you're going to be up there taking that championship away from me if I don't at least try. And like I said, Brian was well overdue for that victory, and I was glad to help push him to it.
There's that BSR salesman, Pockets.
Yep, there's the salesman right there. And Axel, I love you, brother, but I'm still not rooting for you.
Yeah, I tell you, I was fine. Like, I'm totally fine with competitors racing. I never want to see someone give a race away or give a spot away if it means something. So the fact you made that move, it could have been anybody up there with or without their first victory. You're gonna go and make the smart choice to keep your competitors back point wise and whatever. Yeah, I applaud you for that, for sure. And it was great to see Brian get his first one. He was so happy.
Yeah, it's making me rethink my statement. It seems like that might have been a little more self-preservation than it was respect for Brian, wanting to see Brian win. But either way, I mean, you still get the point of what I was trying to say there. So
anyway, and I can promise you, my first thought was that I wanted to see Brian get that victory. And then it was more of an afterthought of, what, Axel is right there, and it's really a good thing that I chose to do that, because it helped keep him just 3 more points back from me than he would have been had he got the victory.
Well, and I also know one thing for a sure fact is that had you been in the right situation, it would have been better luck next time, Brian. I hope you get the next one, because I've raced with you for a long time, and I can tell you this: these guys, if you're going to win a race here, you're going to earn it, because they're not giving you anything. The only thing that's given away at Bomb Squad Racing is some nice T-shirts and some Drunken Cow Jerky from DrunkenCowJerky.com and nice plaques from Voiles Trucking and a few other awards and stuff like that. The giveaways come when the races are over. There's no giveaways on the track out there, because these guys bid for every position.
They're not giving away either. You still got to earn them too.
That's right. That's right.
Now, speaking of, Jerky, it is about the time in the show where we take the time to thank all of our sponsors. All of you guys that are out there watching currently right now, I know, about this time people tend to click off and go do something else, but we've got another special video we'd like you guys to stick around for and watch. We're going to be closing off with a little something different than our normal dirt video this afternoon. Everybody that's out there, I notice we've got one thumbs up. If you can, if you like what we're doing here, give us a thumbs up on the board there, and let's go over here and give some thanks to all of our great sponsors here. First off, we'd like to thank Mark and Richard Heyman over at Drunken Cow Jerky, Brian and Kathy Boyles from Boyles Trucking. We'd like to thank Rick Craddock from Real Tech LLC, BSR Scar from WLS Graphics, RJ Rusty from the Medicine Chest Pharmacy, and BSR Tyler and Rhoda over at Hello Sunshine Hello. We always like to thank all of our sponsors. They all do a lot for us here at Bomb Squad Racing, and without them, we couldn't have all the great prizes and the great racing that we do here at Bomb Squad. So we really appreciate all of you guys, and thank you very much.
Yellow, before you kick this off, I want to say, especially this week, due to some past things and comments that have been made out in social media and stuff like that, this show and our racing series and stuff, this is what we do. This is what we spend our time doing. This is how we support sim racing. And this next little segment that you're going to bring up is a perfect example of what Bomb Squad Racing is all about. So don't believe anything that you hear out there. This is going to be a perfect example of what we're about right here at Bomb Squad Racing. Thank y'all.
That's right. We appreciate you all tuning in, and we're going to kick it off here, and we will see you guys next week at Richmond.
All right, everybody, if y'all will give me your full and undivided attention, please stay off the track here for a second. I'll reset this happy hour afterwards. As you all know, or some of you may not know, a young race fan who was diagnosed with cancer a while back, and his uncle made a plea for everyone to honor his last wish, was to have racers from around the world send him stickers to put on his casket. Unfortunately, he passed away this week. We at Bomb Squad Racing were proud to honor his last request, and we did send him a sticker. And we would also at this time like to honor him with a moment of silence.